Welcome guys back to my channel, Dr. Mustafa for Knowledge. Today I will lesson about physiology of the digestive system. As you see, I changed my channel name because some of people close to my heart wanted to. Let's start. In this lesson we will talk about how the digestive system work, the layer in the gastrointestinal tract, the accessory organs in the digestive system, the salivary gland, the digestions in the gastrointestinal tract, the gastric cells, the gastric hormones. They are responsible for secretion in the gastrointestinal tract. What happens in the small intestine and large intestine? Bile, pancreas juice, and intestinal juice physiology. How nutrients are broken down. What are the feces? How the digestive system work? The digestive system work for digestions and absorptions. The digestion is divided into two: mechanical digestion and chemical digestion. The mechanical digestion get larger pieces of food get broken down into smaller pieces while being prepared for chemical digestion. This happens in the mouth and then continue to the stomach. The chemical digestion starts in the mouth and continuing into the intestine. Several different enzymes breaking down macromolecules into smaller molecules that can be absorbed. The layers of gastrointestinal tract, they divide into four layers. They differ from each other by the function and tissue. These layers are also called the tunicus. Let's start each one. The mucosa from inside to outside, then the submucosa, muscularis, and serosa. The mucosa is absorptive and secretory layer, consists of three layers. They are muscular mucosa, contracts the smooth muscles, help to break down the food. The lamina propria containing blood and lymph vessels. The epithelial layer absorbs and secretes mucus and digestive enzymes. The submucosa has blood vessels, lymphatic, and nerve plexus. The muscularis is responsible for movement, divided into two: inner circular and outer longitudinal. The serosa, the last layer, it secretes lubricating serous fluid. In the submucosa, there is nerve plexus called the masseter plexus. You know that in the digestive system, there's two plexes, masseter and Auerbach plexus. The masseter plexus is located in the submucosa. The Auerbach plexus is located between the muscles and the muscularis tonicus. So the submucosa contains the masseter plexus, which control the size of blood vessels and digestive juice secretion, and the Auerbach plexus, which between these muscles located nerve plexus called the Auerbach plexus for muscle relaxation and contraction. In this picture we can see the mesentery, which is attached the small intestine, large intestine, and pancreas, stomach to the abdominal wall for touching them. And there's divided into the nerve divided into two: mesenteric plexus, Auerbach plexus, and submucosal plexus, which is called the masseter plexus. The mesenteric plexus or Auerbach plexus between the muscular layer. This picture we can see this one: muscular layer divided into two: circular muscular layer and longitudinal muscular layer. This one circular and longitudinal. Between them located the Auerbach plexus. And in the submucosal plexus, the masseter plexus nerve located in the submucosa layer. In this picture, this submucosa, we can see the gland of submucosa and the ducts of submucosa glands. This is the serosa. The outer layer consists of connective tissue layer and peritoneum. In the pink one, or this is pink. I think this is pink. It's called the peritoneum. The mucosa is divided into three layers: the mucosa epithelium, lamina propria, this one, which has the lymph vessels and the blood vessels, and muscularis mucosa. The accessory organs in the digestive system, they are salivary glands, tongue, teeth, liver, gallbladder, pancreas, and vermiform appendix. The salivary gland divided into three: the parotid gland, submandibular gland, sublingual gland. The exocrine gland that produce saliva, which begin the process of digestion with amylase for carbohydrate starch. The tongue for food chewing and swallowing. The main taste organ covered in taste buds. The teeth for chewing up food. It's for moving the food. This is for chewing up the food. The liver produce and excrete bile required for fat breaking down. It helps metabolism, protein, lipid, and carbohydrates. The urea, chief, and product of mammalian metabolism is formed in the liver from amino acid and compounds of ammonia. It's break down insulin and other hormones. All of them happen in the liver and also produce the coagulation factors. The gallbladder's bile storage function. The pancreas exocrine function, the digestive enzyme secretion. It contains a variety of enzymes including trypsinogenes, chymotrypsinogenes, elastase, pancreatic lipids, and amylase, etc. of other hormones, other enzymes. Stores zymogenes, inactive forms of the enzymes that will be activated by the brush-border membrane in the small intestine when a person eats protein, amino acid protein found in the food. The vermiform appendix are immune function for protection. The salivary glands are divided into three major salivary glands, and they are divided into three according to their secretion: serous, mucous, and mixed. They are parotid glands secrete serous, sublingual glands are mixed, secrete serous and mucous, and submandibular glands also mixed. They locate out of the oral cavity, but their ducts are inside the oral cavity. The numerous small glands, like salivary glands, they produce the saliva inside the oral cavity. The composition of saliva that's secreted by salivary glands are electrolytes are sodium, potassium, chloride, etc. Secretory proteins, peptides, amylase, proline-rich proteins, myosin, histidine, cystatins is also produced by the saliva, composition of the saliva. Immunoglobulins A and G and M, secretory immunoglobulins A, G, M. Small organic, glucose, amino acid, urea, uric acid, and other components. Epidermal growth factor, insulin, saccharinic, adenosines, etc. These, all of them are composition of saliva, depending on the secretion of salivary glands. Saliva is clearly slightly acidic fluid. It consists of these one, all of them, and the composition of saliva and what their function. We talk about the composition and the function of them. Some of them are antibacterial, some of them are antiviral, antifungal, tissue coating, lubricating of the mouth, the mineralization, the digestion, buffering. All of these composition were playing a central role in the digestion, the mouth. The peristalsis. Peristalsis is slow contraction of smooth muscles around the pipes of the digestive system. Slow waves of contraction run along the gastrointestinal tract, pushing the bolus. Bolus is the food that when you eat it and covered by mucus or saliva that's secreted from the salivary gland, when it enters the esophagus, they will call the bolus, along in the right direction, away from the mouth and toward the anus. All the work from the esophagus to the anus are called peristalsis. It's the working condition of the food inside the gastrointestinal tract. The first digestion starting from the mouth, the production of saliva by the salivary gland. Saliva contains the enzymes called the salivary amylase, which break down starch. And in this picture we can see the parotid gland near the ear, and the sublingual gland under. The sublingual gland is from its name. The lingual is the tongue. Sub under the tongue. Submandibular gland also mandibular, the same, and sub under the mandibular bone. The stomach contains gastric juice, which contain mostly of hydrochloric acid and BBC. The hydrochloric acid are strong acid enough to dissolve the razor blades. That's an example. The BBC, an enzyme that breaks down the proteins. We talk in the gastrointestinal tract in the muscular layer. It consists of two layers in the muscles, in the muscular layer. They are inner and longitudinal. In the stomach only, there's three layers. The third one called oblique smooth muscles for expanding and contracts the stomach. There are three types of gland are in gastric beats. The cardiac gland secrete mucus. The fundic gland they secrete hydrochloric acid and intrinsic factor. The pyloric gland they secrete gastrin produced by their G cells. This picture, this is the beats. The gland that located in the beats and secreted the cardiac gland in the cardiac of the part of the stomach, this one, secrete the mucus. The fundic gland in the fundus of the stomach, up, they secrete hydrochloric acid and steric factor. The pyloric gland, located in the pyloric part of the stomach, secrete the gastrin that's produced by their G cells. And in the middle, corpus or body, corpus in Latin, the meaning of body of the stomach. The cells that located in the stomach, gastric cells, they are superficial epithelial cells, mucous neck cells, stem progenitor cells, parietal cells, chief cells, the endocrine cells. Gastric cells found in the gastric gland, which talked about them before. They are cardiac gland, fundic gland, and pyloric gland, which divide into these cells divide into four: the fibular cells, parietal cells, chief cells, enteroendocrine cells. The fibular cells divide into two groups: the superficial epithelial cell and the mucous neck cells. Both are called the fibular cells, which produce the gel layer mucus. And the parietal cells secrete the gastric acid and intrinsic factor. We talk about the fundic gland that produce the gastric acid and intrinsic factor. So from where they get it? They get it from the parietal cells that are located in the fundus part of the stomach only. The chief cells secrete the pepsinogen and gastric lipase. And the enteroendocrine cells are specialized cells of gastrointestinal tract and pancreas, which endocrine function. They produce the gastrointestinal hormones or peptides in response to various stimuli and release them into the bloodstream. Focus on this one for systematic effects. Okay, so fibular cells are located in the whole of the stomach, body of the stomach, fundus, cardiac part, pyloric part. The parietal cells, chief cells, located in the fundus of the stomach only. The enteroendocrine cells are specialized or has a lot of division, so we will talk about them later in this video. The cells near the gastric pits. The gastric pits consist of the goblet cells, which produce the mucus in the mucous layer of the stomach. The parietal and chief cells located in the fundic gland in the fundus region of the stomach. So they secreted the gastric acid, pepsinogen, and also the intrinsic factor. The D cells and G cells are the branch of the enteroendocrine cells, which talked about them before. We talk about them that they are specialized cells. They secrete their hormones. The D cells secrete the somatostatin hormones, and G cells secreted the gastrin. These two hormones affect the acid secretion in the stomach. The somatostatin inhibits the acid secretion, and the gastrin stimulates the acid secretion in the stomach. These two are part of the enteroendocrine cells in the stomach. Hormonal control of digestion. They are the main one. There are many, but we will talk about the main one only. The gastrin, secretin, choline, gastric inhibitory peptide, and motilin. The gastrin, this hormone stimulates the production of hydrochloric acid and pepsinogen. So the high gastrin secretion, the high hydrochloric acid secretion. The pepsinogen are inactive form of pepsin. The gastrin is produced in response to the arrival food in the stomach. Acidic pH levels reduce the level of the gastrin. The gastrin is produced by G cells, which located in the pyloric parts. Just revise this information. The secretin stimulates bicarbonate secretion to neutralize acid in the duodenum. So this one located in the duodenum. The cholecystokinin, this hormone stimulates the pancreas to release enzymes and the gallbladder to release the bile. So the pancreas and gallbladder, they both secrete in the duodenum. So this hormone is secreted in the duodenum. The gastric inhibitory peptide decreases the churning of the stomach and reduces the speed that food empties from the stomach. It also triggers the secretion of insulin. This all of it are by the gastric inhibitory peptide. Okay. The motilin stimulates the production of pepsin and speed up peristalsis. The mechanism of the movements, the mechanism of the food inside the stomach, inside the small intestine moving, is called the peristalsis. Just keep it in your Enteroendocrine cells. We talk in the cells of the stomach. Enteroendocrine cells is not only located in the stomach, located in the whole part of the gastrointestinal tract, from the stomach, small intestine to large intestine. They divide into K cells, L cells, as you see. These too many cells, enterochromophene cells, enterochromophene-like cells. This is all branch of the cells of the endocrine cells. So the G cells and enterochromophene-like cells, we'll talk about them because they are the main one. The G cells in the stomach, they are called the enteroendocrine cells, which release gastrin, we talked about it before, and stimulate the gastric acid secretion and also the pepsinogen secretion. The enterochromophene-like cells stored and release histamine when the pH of the stomach become too high. The pH of the stomach become too high, it means acidic lower, and they release the histamine. It's stimulated by the secretion of gastrin from the G cells. When the stomach pH decreases, become more acidic, the enterochromophene-like cells stop releasing histamine. In this picture we can see the enteroendocrine cells location and function. For example, in the stomach there is located the D cells and enterochromophene cells in the stomach, the A cells, G cells, P cells, enterochromophene-like cells in the stomach also. So in the stomach, this group in the stomach, this group located in the small intestine, in the large intestine, small intestine located this group, these cells and enterochromophene-like cells, and in the small intestine, large intestine also located this group. Okay, so how you can find their location from this one. And the function is acidity, appetite, acidity and insulin secretion, appetite and motility. You can just, if you want to develop your information about the enteroendocrine cells, this picture will help you. The small intestine, the first part of small intestine is the duodenum, which the chyme mixes with the enzymes from the pancreas, bile from the liver, and intestinal juice from all of them. They mix it with the chyme, the food that comes from the stomach, meaning of the chyme. Let's start by one. The bile produced and secreted by the liver consists mainly of bile salts, phospholipids, cholesterol, electrolytes, and water, etc. of carbonate. When it's stimulated by the hormone cholecystokinin, the gallbladder secretes into the cystic duct, then into the common bile duct, then go to the duodenum. If they go to the duodenum, they have a gate called the sphincter of Oddi, relax, and when they get, or the sphincter is relaxing, they're permitting the bile to enter the duodenal lumen. The next secretion is the pancreatic juice. It contains a variety of enzymes including trypsinogen, chymotrypsinogen, elastate, amylase, nucleosides, lipase, all of its enzymes of the pancreatic juice. It's regulated secretion, it's regulated secretion by the hormones secretin and cholecystokinin. The third secretion in the duodenum, called the intestinal gland or intestinal juice, it contains a variety of enzymes like rhabdin, lipase, lactase, enterokinase, and amylase, and mucus. We don't forget the mucus. The intestinal glands of the small intestine contain a paste of replication stem cells, beneath cells of the innate immune cells, and goblet cells. Goblet cells, they secrete the mucus, which produce the mucus. Okay, so I write it. The pronar glands, called also the duodenal gland, are glands found in the portion of the duodenum which is above the hepatopancreatic sphincter. This sphincter is permitting the secretion from the liver and the pancreas to enter the duodenum. So it's called the sphincter. We talk about it, the sphincter of Oddi, how the bile and the pancreas juice secretion come to the duodenum by this one. The main function of this gland is to produce the mucus-rich alkaline secretion mucus, and this alkaline secretion mucus function is to protect the duodenum from the acidic content of chyme, because when it comes from the stomach they will have high acidic. So by this one, alkaline mucus-rich will decrease this acidity of the chyme, provide an alkaline condition for the intestinal enzymes to be active, thus enabling absorption to take place, and the third function is lubricating the intestinal walls. The pineal gland are also secrete the epidermal growth factor, which inhibit the parietal and chief cells of the stomach from secreting acid and their digestive enzymes. This is another form of protection for the duodenum. We know the parietal cells secrete the hydrochloric acid, which located in the fundus, both located in the fundus part of the stomach, chief and parietal cells. The chief is secretes the pepsinogen in active form of pepsin. The food continues its journey through the remaining part of the small intestine, the duodenum and ileum, and being gradually digested as it goes once it's fully breaking down. The finger-like projection called the villi stick out from the walls of the duodenum and increase the surface area. Villi maximize the amount of nutrients that can be absorbed. In the large intestine, the water and minerals are absorbed into the blood. For the large intestine, the large intestine absorbed any products produced by the bacteria. Focus on this one. The bacterial. These products are produced by the bacteria, such as vitamin K, vitamin B12, vitamin, and riboflavin. The parts of large intestine and what they do. The ascending colon, they include the cecum, ileum, and the vermiform appendix. The ileum is part of the small intestine. Cecum is the first part of the large intestine. The transverse colon, this section crosses the abdomen. The descending colon, this section has a large layer of the gastrointestinal bacteria and it's used to store feces. The sigmoid colon has muscular walls that help push feces into the rectum. The rectum is needed for defecation, get rid of waste products. How it works? The stretch receptors in the wall of the rectum detect when the chamber is full. So when the chamber is full, what will happen then? They will stimulate the desire to defecate. If the defecation is delayed, the feces can be moved. They can be moved back into the colon where water is absorbed back into the body. If defecation is postponed for an extended period, more water is removed, the stool becomes hard and the individual may become constipated. This we can see the large intestine. This is the first part, cecum, the vermiform appendix. This is the ascending colon, transverse colon, the descending colon, which has high percent of the bacteria inside it, the sigmoid colon, and the rectum. So where the defecation storing in the rectum. In this picture we will revise quickly the physiology of the digestive system. If you want more details, watch my video again. Soon I will make another video explanation about bile, pancreas juice, saliva, and intestinal fluid. Also soon I will post another video about diseases related to digestive system. Okay, let's start. When you eat the food will enter the mouth. The mouth will produce by the salivary gland, the saliva, and when you're chewing, the mechanical and chemical digestion will happen in the mouth. Then the food will go to the esophagus, and they will enter the stomach by the cardiac orifice. This one, cardiac orifice. When it enters the stomach, the cells of the stomach will stimulate the fundic gland, cardiac gland, and pyloric gland. Both will be secreting their substance. The cardiac gland secretes the mucus, the fundic gland secreting the hydrochloric acid and pepsinogen, an active form of pepsin, by the parietal cells for the hydrochloric acid for parietal cells, for chief cells pepsinogen and steric factors, and the pyloric glands they give the secretion for the gastrin. The gastrin will this hormone produced by the G cells which control the secretion of the hydrochloric acid and the pepsinogen. Okay, for parietal and chief cells. Then they will go to the pancreas juice. Then from the pancreas juice they will stimulate the liver, gallbladder, pancreas juice, this is the pancreas, and the intestinal fluid. They will secrete all in the duodenum by the hormone called the chromostatokinine. So this hormone will stimulate them to secretion their enzymes, and they will break down all the substance or all the food that are located in the duodenum for making it easy to absorb, and then we'll go to all the parts of the duodenum, the ileum and the jejunum. Then they will be absorbed, the water absorbed, all the substance absorbed to the blood, and they will go to the large intestine. From the large intestine they will absorb it. They start from the cecum. From the cecum they will have the ascending, transverse, the descending, and sigmoid colon, and the rectum. And the large intestine will be having the minerals and the water absorption. And when the food that enters with the large intestine or bolus, when it will finish the large intestine, they will enter to the rectum, which large space for storing the feces. By the wall of the rectum, it has receptors that tell us if the feces are more and the rectum is full. They will revise or return some of the feces to the colon for more water absorbing. Then if you deny the defecation, if you accept the defecation, they will get rid of this feces. This is the whole physiology of the digestive system working by secretion hormone and secretion enzymes. So please make sure to revise my video again carefully, write some notes. It will help you in your exams, in your studying. If anyone not in the medical university he want to learn this information, it's free and it's very easy for you to learn. How nutrients are broken down by protein digested by 3 enzymes called pepsin. Focus on this one. Pepsin in the stomach, trypsin and chymotrypsin in the duodenum, specifically secreted by the pancreas. The fat, how the fat is breaking down in the duodenum by the lipase, and bile secretion also help to the process of breaking down fats. So the fat in the duodenum by lipase and bile. The carbohydrate breaking down by salivary and pancreatic amylase, one of the enzymes of the pancreatic juice, break down the starch into the individual glucose units. The lactase break down the lactose. The sugar in milk, sucrase, break down the sucrose. Non-destructive digestion. Certain essential complex molecule will be ruined if they mixed with the digestive juice in the stomach. For instance, the vitamin B12 is very sensitive to acid, and if it was broken down into its parts, it could not fulfill its role in the body. So in this case, non-destructive digestion takes place for vitamin B12. A chemical in the saliva called hepatocorrin binds to the protects the molecule, the B12, and through its journey to the stomach, and when it's enter the duodenum, the first part of the small intestine, this bond will be split. The B12 is attached to intrinsic factor. Then once in the ileum, the special receptors carry the 2 bound molecules into the blood. So that's how we absorb the non-destructive digestion. What is the feces? Poop or feces is the remaining of lot of food that could not be absorbed by the small intestine, that has been rotted down by bacteria in the large intestine. It contains bacteria and some small amount of metabolic waste products such as bile and bilirubin from the breaking down of blood. The bile, when you secreted the bile in the human body, the physiology of the bile, when you secreted 5% of this bile that's secreted in the duodenum will get out through excretion with the feces. 5% of this bile, and 95% of the rest of the bile will go back to the gallbladder to store it for another use. Now we finish our video. Thanks for watching. I hope you get benefit from my video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Share it if you can. It will help me better for my supporting me to posting more videos. Visit my Facebook, follow us on it. I will put the link in the description. I hope you enjoy, and thank you for watching.